Hey, everybody. Shoving Nobody Else's Auto. It is 8 o'clock Sunday evening. We're going to try something different and see what happens. Looks like Ellie's here, Bill's here, Glenn's on, Pete's ready to go. So, like we talked about last week, this is an experiment. We'll see how it works. Backing it up an hour, especially during the summer months when everybody has a ton of stuff going on, myself included. This just gives everybody a little bit more time to wrap their day up. I know it's almost a little late for you East Coast guys. But the West Coast guys, I think it'll be a lot better for. But Neil's here with us. Bill's on. Glad Bill Disc made it. There's Charles. So, like I said, we'll try this a few times. If it doesn't work, you guys don't like it, we can go back to 7. But like I said, we'll give it a shot during the summertime here where it's nice. We'll try it for a few weeks and see how it works. See what kind of viewer numbers are, what the viewer numbers are like. See what you guys think of it, and then we'll talk about it again here in a few weeks. So there's the Kevins, Kevin L, Kevin Brown, and Ken from Michigan. Dad's here with us. JP, Lee Carr, Kenny Peterson. All you guys keep coming back every week and making this what it is. So Frank's here. Glad you guys are here at 8 o'clock, even though we are running a little bit later. But like I said, this is an experiment. We'll give it a shot. We'll see how it works. There's number 1. And we'll talk about it again in a few weeks and reevaluate. We'll give it a shot for now. Hope everybody had a good 4th of July. Hope everybody still has all of their fingers. That's always handy. They're dirty. We didn't do too much. Just went out to my sister's and hung out there for a while. Big Job's here with us. It's experiment. It's an experiment. So Mark's here. GDP's on with us. John Sanderson's here. A lot of great names popping back up. Glad you guys are all here. Rusty Okie. The funnest thing we did at my sister's is my sister got her son a flamethrower for Christmas. So we got to play with that. That was fun. The flamethrower was a blast. So that was the exciting part of 4th of July as far as I was concerned, was playing with a flamethrower. Alex here. Adam's here with us on Facebook. Glad you guys were there, hanging out with us, trying out the new time slot. But anyway, you can order them. Buick Man's here. I think there's a company in Kansas City that makes them. But I've heard of them. You can buy them. You can order them, and they're a lot of fun. I am going to tell you, they are a lot of fun. Yeah, they're a lot of fun. Come here. So that was the fun part about the funnest thing I did on 4th of July. Bill Disc is on Amazon looking for one. Let's see. Zach is not going to be here tonight. Too bad he couldn't make it. Jeff from Ottawa is here. We could use a flamethrower on a Toyota. That would be a lot of fun. Start a barbecue. Yep. Yeah, that's right, Dirty. I think a lot of us think we need one of those in our lives now. So, Sonny Farms on YouTube had a flamethrower. So let's see. There's Alex Kalish is here. Alex Kalish is here with us tonight. All right. Looks like I'm caught up there. Things got to scrolling pretty quick, but that was the fun part of 4th of July for me. I hope you guys all had a great one. Something that just like Rusty Okie just brought up, and I wanted to bring it up so you guys were aware of it. I know we talked about it a little bit on Tuesday night. Some of you guys have already jumped on it. But Zach and Andy have started a new private Facebook group for all of us. It's a private Facebook page. Zach or Rusty Okie have to approve you. There are some questions you have to go through. You have to be approved. but it is just a page where any of the nobodies can hang out, post pictures of their rides, post pictures of what they're working on, and be able to share all that stuff. We talk about that all the time, and those guys they took it upon themselves to help out and build that out. So Tony Napoli's here with us, and so that page there's Dennis. I typed it out so you can see how it was spelled. This is how they have it on Facebook. Austin's here. In fact, I should have put Facebook on there. So, check that page out. Go through the questions. Andy or Zach can approve you and get you onto that group. We've got about a dozen people on there right now. So, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. But great place for you guys to post what you're working on and what's going on with you to hang out and check stuff out. So be sure to jump on that page. Loader Mike stopped by. Glad he's here tonight. Truth Seeker's here from England. In fact, we just tacked this up here for a second. So you guys will have that to jump over to on Facebook. Okay. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Zach and Andy helping us out with that and making sure that we know who's in there and what they're posting pictures of their cars and trucks. And, I try to keep an eye on it. I've seen the stuff you guys have been posting, some cool stuff. But, it's great that they're kind of taking care of that. It's something that obviously I've never had time to do, and appreciate those guys and everybody that does help out with some of the legwork on what we do here. With Zach and Andy doing that, all the help Pete, Rico and Jess always help out. It's all these people that make this thing what it is. So Devin's here. Rod Shop Press made it. Matt Williams. All right. So check that out. Jump on and post some of your stuff up there on what you're working on. Couple of other things that happened this week. Finally broke 20,000 subscribers. Kind of excited about that. It, something we've been, there's always, with YouTube, there's always another target. It's moves forever. But, for me, at least for a small YouTuber like me, when you tick off some of those kind of milestone spots, that's kind of a big deal. So finally, after fighting it for a few months, finally broke that 20,000 subscriber mark. So super appreciate all of you guys and your support and telling your friends to nudge this thing along to get it to that point. So what else is happening next week? Meekum Kissimmee, the summer special, is next week. So I'm sure there will be some coverage on TV on that. Our good friend Jim Wicks is going. If you see something you can't live without, we can get a hold of Wicks. He can check it out for you. And so keep your eye out on that. Like I said, there will probably be some TV coverage on some cool stuff that is going to be going through Meekum Summer Kissimmee. Something else kind of interesting. Some of you guys may have caught the short. But for those of you that didn't, we actually got a car out of Dad's. We moved the car that Dad had out of storage. I bet this thing hasn't seen daylight in probably close to 15 years. So he's got it in his shop so he can get it back on the road, get it fired up, get the brakes done. But if you guys didn't catch the short that we posted a couple days ago, Dad's got a 1958 Buick Super that has been around almost as long as I've been around. And it just, like I said, it's been backburnered, and I bet it's been close to 15 years since it's been out of that building. So we uncovered it and got it rolled up the shop, and it is on the lift right now. So Scott's here with us on Facebook. So, yeah, thanks. All the congratulations on 20,000. It's pretty cool to me. I mean, like I said, for just a dum-dum throwing stuff on the computer to get to that to that point is pretty cool, for at least I think so. But hopefully, we'll just keep on moving. We'll keep moving forward and keep ticking away at things and continue to grow slowly but surely. There is no magic bullet to YouTube other than just like anything else. You got to work the system. You got to put content out. You got to try to improve your content. You got to engage with people. And that's what we try to do here. So, yeah, it's a 58 Buick. 58 Buick Super. I got a picture of it, I think. If you guys want to see a picture of it, I got a picture of it. So we finally got that car out. Like I said, it's been a long time. Does the Facebook group have a thumbnail pic? That's something Andy can probably answer, because I think they said they did have 2 of them that I think they started one and then changed it. So, yeah, Andy can probably answer that better than I can. True Seeker, if you like Shelby's True Seeker, we got some super killer Shelby stuff coming up. We actually do have some amazing Shelby content coming up soon. So anyway, the 58 Buick, there's the 58 that we just got pulled out of the shed after 15 years. So, been a long time since that one's been out, but it was good to see it out in the sunlight again. Yeah, we'll probably do a video on the 58 Buick once it's back on the road again. No, it's a Super, Alex. So that will be hopefully be coming up sometime soon as well. Anyway, we'll keep on trucking. Like I said, we're playing with this format. So I'm kind of watching the time on how long things take, how many viewers we have on, how many comments we're getting, things like that. So if it seems a little choppy, that's because I'm just playing with stuff, trying to see how things are going to flow and trying this. It's got around 50,000 on it, William, or Bill. I don't remember exactly, but somewhere around 50,000, 48,000 or something like that is what that Buick's got on it. So Jeff likes the 8 p.m. start. Great. I hope that works out a lot better for most people. There's Nick with us. And like I said, as we go through the next few weeks, that's what I want. I want your guys' feedback to know if this is going to work, or we go back to 7. But we've got a lot of fun stuff coming up. Like I said, I'm playing with the time. We've got everything lined out for tonight, just depending on how things go. Oh, auction stuff that's coming up tonight is going to be super cool. Believe it or not, this sure is going to shock no one. I found a whole ton of license plates that I bought 2 or 3 months ago. And the plates that I've been working with are all back on shelves. Well, I didn't want to bury years and stack years on top of years and lose them all. So what I did is this last batch that I got, I lined them up underneath the edge of some cars. That 74 Z28, the 84 Corvette had rows of license plates just laid out, but they were tucked underneath it. I just kind of blew them off and forgot they were there. So I dug into some of those. We've got some awesome plates for tonight. I was actually kind of excited when I was digging this stuff back out again. So we got some fun auction stuff coming up. Rusty Okie likes 7 better. Yeah, like I said, it's just gonna have to kind of feel it out. I know that's going to work better for some people and not for others, but that's what we need. That's the kind of feedback we needed to figure out what's going to be the best plan of attack going forward. Nate's here with us. Glad Nate made it tonight. And let's keep on moving to new inventory. Yes, I did pick up a couple of cars this week, a couple of newer ones. But I did pick up one that's pretty interesting. Rod Shop's an hour behind, so that probably works out good for you. Yeah, in fact, I think we've still got some of those, John. I'm glad you brought that up. I need to look for the rest of those. I forgot what I did with them. I had a whole box of those. We sold a couple of handfuls of them, but I still had 6, 8, 10 sets of them. And I don't know what I did with them. I need to look for those. Thanks for reminding me. Jeff will just be here whenever. Yeah, we got a lot of Mustang stuff coming up, Truth Seeker. I've got a whole video on Mustang projects, coupes, convertibles, and fastbacks. Wix has a ton of them in stock. The Shelbys, we got some. If you're like Mustangs and Ford in general, we've got some killer stuff coming up that Wix had. 2 actual real restored Shelbys, tons of Mustang projects, Comet Cyclone, some Fairlanes, a lot of cool stuff. Nice, John, matching sets, keychains, and plates. So Nate's digging the 8 o'clock time. So like I said, we're going to see how it does. Kenny likes 8. I think you're west, or I believe you're west, Kenny, so that probably does work better for you. So like I said, we're just going to kind of play it by ear and see what happens. But I did pick up a car, go back to new inventory, that I didn't have anything in inventory like this at all. It's kind of a unique bird. They're somewhat popular. I do get some calls for some of this stuff, even though this one is a 4-door. A 1957 Plymouth Savoy. I did not have any 57 or 58 Plymouths here at all. And I do get some calls for some of that stuff, obviously with the Fury and the Christine. There is some desire. Those cars are desirable and they do have some demand, but I've just never had anything at all. Just some bits and pieces here and there, but no cars. And so when this one come up, I worked the deal on it to get it added to inventory. So I did pick that one up, made a little bit of headway. And like I said, I picked up 2 newer cars, I think, off my list. But then I bought another car today. So I'm not gaining much ground when I'm buying cars as I'm picking them up. So anyway, we'll kind of see how things go. But that was the coolest thing that I picked up this week was the 57 Plymouth Savoy 4-door. On to the promo model. Then we'll get some badges and caps. Do a little story time. Story time is going to be different. I've been promising you some different stuff on story time. Story time is going to be very different tonight. It's going to be super cool, but it's going to be different. So stay tuned for that. But let's get into the promo model. Another one from the box that I got from Pete of promos. And this is one that I think is cool. I remember when these came out. These actually had a illustrated box on them as opposed to the plain white wrappers that most promos came in with a label on the end. So this was kind of fancy back in around 1988 when they came out with this promo model and gave it a fully illustrated box. We do need to do a yard walk, Ken. I was going to try to do that on the 4th of July. Mark's getting a little thirsty. Great idea, Mark. You are totally right. In fact, we'll just double whammy her right out of the gate. Boom! Right there. Apologize for that. Mark got us back on course. In fact, we haven't brought out the Big Kahuna in a while. Nope, we haven't brought out the Big Kahuna for a few weeks. There it is. The big badge. All right. Buick Man is joining the group. So Andy's watching that, getting you guys in. So be sure to GDP ready to go. 3 beers in a row. So Andy's keeping an eye on that, getting you guys in as you jump in to request to join the Facebook group, and you can start posting up your cars on there. And that's right. They do have some questions that need to be answered to join the group. So go through that, and then they can get you into the Nobody's group. So anyway, back to the promo model. Now that Mark got us set straight. Bill Dish is right. Just requested. Perfect. Awesome, guys. I appreciate you supporting that as well. Tony's in. All right. Well, this illustrated box on the Buick Riata promo really made it stand out back in the late 80s. There again, as we've seen, most of these promos came in a white box with either a stamp on the end or a label slapped on the end. They actually came out with a fully illustrated box on the Buick Riata. All right, Waycamp's in. So inside, still wrapped up. Dirty saw one yesterday. Is the actual Buick Riata Coupe in red with a tan interior. Now, these were a super sporty little car. It was something that, you know, was kind of a out of the box thinking for Buick. These were available in a coupe or a convertible. This is actually a car I do not have. I've always kind of wanted a Riata. They were just unique for the time. I've just never stopped and bought one, but I always thought they were pretty cool. Now, one interesting, this one obviously in the box is still in great condition. Bumpers, trim, lights, all still here. Same on the back. Mirror still intact. Build box is still sealed. The luxury Fiero, yeah, that's one way to put it. However, these were not mid-engine. These were front engine. One interesting thing about the Riata is the wheels. Now, and we haven't talked about this a lot, and I don't even know if you guys know what they are, but the Buick LeSabre T-Type, which I do have one of those. I've had one for years. They actually use the same wheels as the Riata with different center caps. So this wheel was actually used on the Riata and the T-Type LeSabre in 1988, 89, right in that window. 87 on the LeSabre. 87 to 89 on the LeSabre. And I think these came out in 88. I think you're right, Jeff. I think all the promos were red. I think all the promos came this way with the tan interior. Fairly well detailed. Bottom, you know, not much to them as far as detail. That's right, the Kenny Bernstein Batmobile. I remember that, Neil. That was a pretty controversial, funny car because it didn't look much like a Riata. It didn't look much like a Regal, but they put stickers on it and called it that. So the Nut Farm made it. All right, glad Nut Farm is here with us. So, but on the bottom side, this actually does have a little bit of information. Made in the USA, copyright 1988 Buick Motor Division. The 1988 Buick Riata in 1/24th scale. As with most promos, and this one included, the bottom is just basically one piece of molded plastic showing the rough outline of the details of that particular car, but not necessarily getting into a lot of details on them. So that's what we got for tonight's promo, the 1988 Buick Riata Coupe. So let's tuck that one back away in its tissue paper and protective cardboard box. And we will close it back up with its fully illustrated cover. And add that to the shelf. Ads. Hold up. Got ads coming. All right. Got the ads killed. Okay. Which is a good time to catch some housekeeping because we forgot to talk about ads. We are dealing with ads. I try to catch as many of them as we can. We occasionally do get trolls on here. You guys do an awesome job of running them off, making sure they know they're not welcome. I'm going to ignore them because they're trying to get my attention to screw up our show. Super chats are great. If you're on the Nobody Show Facebook page, please remember I cannot see those comments. This is a shared video from the Nobody Else's Auto page. So you'll need to be on the Nobody Else's Auto page on Facebook or the Nobody Show page if you want to comment, participate in the auctions, etc., etc. If you just want to watch there and hang out, perfectly fine. Please double check your autocorrect before you hit send on your comment to make sure it did not change it to something that I can't understand. So Buick Man has had no ads yet. So like I said, I just had a pop-up. They were coming. There was one that they did allow me to kill. Sometimes they let me kill them. Sometimes they just force them out there and there ain't nothing you can do about it. So please bear that in mind. Throw a share out there. Let your friends know that we are on and ready to go. Moving on. And like I said, we're moving a little quicker. We're playing with different timing. I'm watching comments, see how many comments we're getting, and kind of playing with some of that stuff. Big job jumping in on the Nobody's Facebook group. So can't wait to see some of you guys on there and your cars and trucks and memorabilia posted up on there. So, plus I want to get to the auctions because I think you guys are gonna. This is some killer stuff. I'm excited. Dirty hasn't seen any forced ads in a while. Well, the last couple weeks it's been letting me kill them. I hope it's letting me kill most of them. The first piece we're going to check out tonight, we're going to catch an old grease cap. Now, I'm not sure I know what it is, but I can't find anything on this particular one. So we're going to read a little bit of history, and then we're going to kind of guess and see where we think we may be on age on this particular piece. Okay? So we're going to be dealing with Oldsmobile and Olds Motor Works on this piece. P.F. Olds and Son Engine Works in Lansing, Michigan was the Olds family business for manufacturing gasoline engines and became the Olds Gas and Gasoline Engine Works in 1897. Ransom Eli Olds tested his first car, a three-wheel steamer, in 1887. In 1891, he produced another steamer, and in 1896, his first gasoline car powered by a single-cylinder 5-horsepower engine. Ransom E. Olds established the Olds Motor Vehicle Company in 1897. By mid-1898, only 6 cars had been produced. Tractor Mike is here. We got Tractor Mike and Loader Mike on tonight. No, I'm not using RAID, just trying to keep an eye out for when it pops up and tells me they're coming. Brian Dispatch made it. In May 1899, with financial support of Samuel Smith, the Olds Motor Works was organized with significant capital stock, acquiring the earlier Olds businesses. And with a new factory in Detroit, Ransom Olds continued to experiment. From 1899 to 1900, about 11 different automobiles were built, including some electrics, and plans were made to put some on the market in 1901, but a fire destroyed the plant in March of 1901. Now, I am back on AmericanAutoEmblems.com because I can't find anything on a definitive page for grease caps. So I'm trying to pull some of this information from the badge site to try to correlate with some of the symbols and fonts and things we're seeing on grease caps from the badge site. So a single gasoline runabout was saved from the fire. It was soon to become the famous curved dash Olds automobile, soon to be called Oldsmobile. Okay? Soon to be called Oldsmobile. Brett and Heather are with us. So, when we look at that and we talk about the emblems and the fonts and the badging, the first Olds motor cars built by the Olds Motor Vehicle Company in 1897 and 1898 did not carry an emblem, but probably displayed the Olds name, not Oldsmobile, on a small nameplate attached to the back of the vehicle. The Olds name would also be displayed on serial plates attached to the engines made by Olds Gas and Gasoline Engine Works. Olds cars built by the Olds Motor Works also did not carry an emblem, but did display the Olds name on small nameplates attached to the back of the vehicle. So, the first Olds motor vehicle to carry an emblem was the Oldsmobile Curved Dash, which had an actual badge that said Oldsmobile. Okay? You guys still hanging with me here? So by the time the Curved Dash come out, it was said Oldsmobile. So I don't know if this is going to make this piece earlier or just something they shortened up later, because when we check this grease cap out, it just says Olds. Alec, the stuff with nobody's cars. Zach and Andy made a new Facebook private group right here on Facebook. Check this page out. Answer the questions so Zach or Andy can get you on that page, Alec. So this grease cap says Olds, and it's a small grease cap. Pete's digging it. Nut Farm hasn't seen it. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, Truth Seeker, if you get on that, get on the Nobody's page and you want to post some of your stuff on there, that's fine. Olds is the first company to debut an automatic transmission. Yes, they were one of the first to actually put it into production. In 1940, I believe, was when they started using the Hydromatic. That was not the first one. Buick had one in 38. And you can you can go to eBay and find shop manuals for the 1938 Buick self-shifting transmission, but they actually didn't make it into production. Oldsmobile, though, was one of the first ones to put an automatic into regular production. So, anyway, Alex says pre-1909. Wow. Yeah, you're right, Jim. I bet they would. So Alex is saying pre-1909. So that really kind of puts this into perspective. And like I said, it is small. It is 2 inches tall. This whole thing is only 2 inches tall. And it's 2 5/8 across. So I got one of my Auburns over here. Let's grab one of the Auburns I've got. So by comparison, when we get up into the 30s, like these Auburns, this is 3 1/8 across the back. This one clearly fits in it. The whole thing fits in it, actually. So when we get one of these Auburn caps out from the 30s, we can literally drop this entire Oldsmobile one in it. And it almost completely hides it. It barely sticks out. Yep, I do still have the old Step as well. That's the same. That is also super early. So that's how small this Olds cap is. Yeah, the earth in the middle is cool on that Oldsmobile stuff too. So there it is. And like I said, I always thought it was super cool. I don't know if this is Olds Motor Works or maybe they used this just on some of the early Oldsmobiles because it was simpler and shorter. Don't really know. Like I said, was not able to definitively pinpoint it. But I thought it was still a super cool piece. So anyway, moving on. I'm going to put my Auburn cap back so I don't want to lose it. Next, we're going to catch a horn button. We're going to move up to the early 50s, and this thing is super cool. Awesome depth, awesome 3D effect, awesome colors. Yeah, I bet you guys are. Yeah, that's right. You're getting a little thirsty, guys. Right, Buick man? Moving up into the early 50s from what seemed believed to be the literally right after the turn of the century, very, very early 1900s. Going to jump up into the 50s to something from Chrysler. This horn button is amazing in color and depth, and also told you that you were driving a top-of-the-line Chrysler that was loaded up with power steering. Look at the colors in this. The way the gold is almost kind of shadowed to show depth. You've got the depth of the Chrysler logo right in the middle of it. I just thought this thing was super cool. We can look at the back, see where the plastic was all molded. All that was molded in there. And then the colors added. Sits in a stainless ring. And has these little tabs that would twist and lock into place. X-Ray Dean's here. This little Chrysler horn button, about 2 3/4 across. So obviously, when you're sitting at the helm of your Chrysler rolling down the highway, you look down. This is what you were staring at. Good looking piece. Alan made it tonight. Seems like the consensus on both Facebook and YouTube is you guys all dig it just like I do. It is a cool piece, though. But that's why we check this stuff out. That's why we talk about these cars and the history and where things were going at that point in the automotive world. So, obviously, a lot of great response tonight. Thanks to Alex's knowledge, we believe literally 1900s, pre-1909. So that's going to put this cap basically between 1899 and 1909, somewhere in that window on this Olds, not Oldsmobile, Olds grease cap. So looking at 115 to maybe 125 years old, somewhere in that window. Between 115 and 125 years old on this Olds grease cap. Wow, 3 a.m. there. I'm glad you were here with us tonight, Truth Seeker, and hanging out from England. And hope you had fun. Hope you come back. But glad you spent part of the middle of your night with us. So 115 to 125 years old, and then of course the early 50s era Chrysler power steering horn button. All right, let's keep moving on. Going to talk about the raffle, then we're going to bust into some of these license plates plus a bunch of other killer stuff. All right. Raffle. Let's talk about the raffle. Oh, no, we got to do story time. I forgot. I got ahead of myself. Brett's in Savannah, Georgia. Story time is going to be a little bit different from here on out, everybody. So we're going to show you some pictures, and then we're going to show you what's going to be different. And it's going to be it's definitely going to show you how things have changed in the last 45 years when it comes to working on these cars. So first off, let's take a look at this particular car. This is one that Dad did basically about 45 years ago. Just like we've been talking about, we've been going through the big scrapbook, checking out these cars that Dad was doing back when I was just a little kid. And tonight we're going to check out a 1965 Ford Thunderbird in red. Perfect, Truth Seeker. Glad you were here. Glad you had fun. And thanks for subbing. Now, a lot of you guys are going to say, hey, we looked at that car a couple weeks ago. You're right, we did. But now we're going to get a little bit more in depth. Yes, as Paul Harvey would say, we're going to get the rest of the story. I've been promising you guys that this was coming. Like I told you, Dad thought he had all the files on these cars. Well, when we were moving stuff around on Thursday, on the 4th of July, when we dug the 58 out, we did some looking, and we found them. So, if you guys really want to be sick to your stomach about what it costs to do these cars today, we're going to see what it cost in 1979, when this car was essentially a used car. Dad kept log sheets on all these cars that we've been talking about. I've got the log sheets, the time he spent on them, the tickets for the work that he did. We've got all this. We're going to get a little more in depth on this if you guys like it. Now, if we do a few of these and you don't like doing them this way, just tell me. So this 1965 Ford Thunderbird, Dad bought this car May 4th of 1979. He bought it for $400, and then he started working on it. So let's see what he did. He had to remove the seat for repair. Now, what he did, as he fixed these cars up, he kept track of them just like in the shop. His hours, so he knew how much time he was spending, as well as the parts that he was putting into them. So he had to remove the seat for repair. Okay. So if we flip through these tickets here, well, hello, Gray Kitty. Have you decided to grace us with your presence tonight? We also know that it costs $20 to repair the seat because we still have the ticket that says repair the seat. $20. In 09, they went to a standard wrench. This has the inverse hex, which that makes it the more primitive one, okay? Yes, can I help you? Yes, you want to come say hi? Come here, Knucklehead. We're talking about the Thunderbird, but come here. All right, come here, dum-dum. You can say hi. Yes. Yes, say hi. Everybody wants to say hi. Meow. Yes, can I help you? You're not Gray Kitty Cat. We're talking about a Thunderbird. Is that okay with you? Meow. All right, let's hop down. Yeah, and Alex is a huge help on that super early stuff. Alex always hooks us up on those early car stuff. So install carpet, 2.5 hours. He was figuring his labor rate at $7.50 an hour at that point. Repair the dome lights. Repaint the car, 30 hours. Replace the tie rod in. R&R front brake hoses. Really, Alec, really like to have all the written work done on a car from back. Yeah, exactly. That's for sure. It's all right here. If we ever find any of the cars, we've got it all written down right here. So he figured 30 hours to paint the car, and it was $50.71 worth of materials to paint a red car. You can't buy a pint of red paint for $50 today. Okay, thanks, Andy. Reminder, make sure you answer the questions so it goes through. Yeah, still $7.50 an hour, just $750 an hour. Install and balance 4 tires. Rebuild the rear wheel cylinders. Redo the trunk. Repair electric windows. Install console trim. Install front bumper. Install door panels. R&R trunk lock cover. Repair turn lights. Repair door locks. Install spare tire and wheel. Lube oil and filter. Install antenna mast. Add Freon. Clean car. Install strut rod bushings. Safety inspection. Rework and install hubcaps. And then we've got all the tickets from when he bought the parts for that particular car. So, I don't know, we can see what some of these tickets say. Here's the ticket that we'll see on most of these cars. Dad worked at the Buick-Olds Cadillac dealership back at that point in time. And he said that on weekends, you could rent the wash rack for $1 if you wanted to go in and wash your car or detail your car or whatever. So this ticket, what used was to use the wash rack for $1. the tickets from the parts store. I mean, literally just everything that went into this car was all logged and tracked. So now, when we take a look at the pictures of this 65 Thunderbird, and we read the lists and we study what was done, it all makes more sense. So anyway, we'll kind of keep working through it, but there it is. There's the sheet, the job sheets on a lot of these cars that we're going to be checking out. Some of them we've already seen, and we've got an entire scrapbook coming full of these. So if you guys don't like doing this, if you don't find it interesting, please tell me. But seemed like we had a lot of great feedback from the first one. Pete likes the addition of the paperwork. That's awesome. I hope you guys do. I think it's super cool. It really, really brings these cars to life and puts cars that we see today as being really cool collectibles into back in the day when these were used cars and guys like that were fixing them up, and that's what they were doing to them. So anyway, let's check out the comments. All right. I mean, nothing but positive so far. The rest of the story time. Yep. So well, I guess unless you guys change your mind, when it's just kind of a river of comments of people who enjoyed it and thought it was cool getting into this stuff, we'll just keep doing that. So we've got a slug of them. Here's this one scrapbook like I've showed you before. And it's 3 inches thick. More thumbs up, more great story. Definitely keep doing them. Awesome. Okay, I'm glad you guys like them. Oh, we got ads coming. Hold up. All right. And here's the files. So it's going to be kind of fun. It's going to be really fun for me because some of these cars I do remember. We're going to get the rest of the story nailed down in these, and we're going to have a lot of fun doing it. So, all right. Perfect. Just good positive comments on Facebook. Tons of good positive comments on YouTube. So I'm going to take that as a win, guys. Hit the like and subscribe. Appreciate that, Dean. I did get your check yesterday too, Dean. It hasn't shipped yet, but I do have it. I've got your stuff sorted out, and I've got a few other ones that need to get out, but I got most of the stuff shipped last week. So anyway, now that you guys know what the new dimension is in story time, and apparently like it, out of curiosity, a used car like that sold for back in that day. Dad sold it for $2,500. So that would have been a 14-year-old used car, but refurbished. He got $2,500 out of it. Lots of late evenings and weekends. Yep, I remember spending a lot of those weekends out in the shop. Now that car, these pictures were at the old house, and that was all done. And that's the other thing to remember, guys. Everything that we just read off on this list and everything that we just talked about that was done to this car was done in a single car garage. So that kind of puts things into perspective too. All right, on to the raffle. And GDP. That's another great point. That was before the days of battery impacts and stuff. That was, a small 110 volt air compressor and an impact. So, all right. Raffle time. Let's talk about the raffle for a second. Let's talk about who's in, and we're going to show you what's coming up, and we're going to do a bonus drawing. So let's talk about who's in. Who got in this week? X-Ray Dean, Leo, Zach Thompson, Tony Napoli got his 10 from the final drawing of last week. So Tony is in there. George Pruitt, Zach Thompson, because he was in twice because I missed the last one he sent last week. So he's in there from the last week of the last drawing and this week. Charles Fitz, Big Job, and Randy Ellenberger. That's who's in right now. Okay. Who wants to do a bonus drawing? Time for a bonus drawing? I hope so, because we've got some cool stuff that Charles donated. So we're going to do some of that. So shout out to our good friend Charles Fitz for this week and next week's bonus drawing. Charles picked up these sets of coasters that he wanted to donate. So what happens in the garage stays in the garage. These are courtesy of Charles Fitz. So, and just as always, these will ship with your next order. They're not going to ship individually. So, thanks to Charles. Hopefully we don't draw his name out of it for this one, but if he does, we'll see if he donates them back. So let's yank a name out of the big Buick oil can for a bonus drawing. We'll get to the prizes here in just a second, Alec. Because we didn't reveal them all. What do we got here? Leo. Anybody from Vegas on? All right. So this set's going to Leo, courtesy of Charles. I mark Leo on these so I don't forget. Put his name on them. Thanks, Charles. Always appreciate you guys supporting the show. So we got Leo's name on the back of these. We'll get him in with the next box of auction winnings that go to Leo. Now, on about this month's raffle, remember, we haven't showed you everything yet. So we're going to put the big Buick oil can away for right now. We're going to put all these new entries in there. Put those coasters off to the side. Hold on real quick. I got to take care of something. Okay. Just a lady on some cars I need to pick up this week, so I didn't want to ignore her. So apologize for that. But okay. Like we talked about last week. Yeah, I just don't want one on lacrosse. This license plate bundle, Kansas 35, Kansas 36, and Kansas 37. A set of 35, 36, and 37 is going to be one of the prizes for this month. Oh, I forgot to get Leo back in the can. Let's get Leo right back in the can. There he is. Okay. Done. So, like I told you, it's going to be all license plates. What's going to be the next batch? And this will be choice in order of the names coming out of the can. If you don't want the Kansas 35, 36, 37 plates, you could also choose Minnesota 35, Minnesota 36, or in Minnesota 37. Another set of 35, 36, 37. Mark is getting thirsty. There we go. So you'll have your choice. 35, 36, and 37 sets. I just found the Kansas and I started looking through some Minnesota and I had 3 of those in a row. I was like, what the heck? Let's just do that. So, and there will be a third prize. It will not be a set of 35, 36, 37 plates. But that's going to give the first name out of the hat, out of the big Buick can, your choice if you want the Kansas, Minnesota, or the other pair. We're going to do one more pair of plates. They will not be this era. But I just thought that would be cool to have 2 sets just like that. So, there's the raffle prizes. Hey, GDP, that's going to be up to the winner. You're in there. You might be the one having to make the decision. We'll see. Who knows? No idea what cars they came off of. So that's where we're at on the raffle. Who wants to do some auction stuff? You ready to do some auction stuff? We got some cool plates in the auctions tonight as well. So hope you guys are ready for that. Who's ready to do the auctions? Let's start getting rolling into some of that stuff. Let me gather a few things up as always. It's all smaller stuff tonight. So the shipping will be included in the final price. We do still have these golden tickets as well as the 10% off coupons. Chris Bradley, Zach Thompson, and Rusty Oakey, because this was Zach's. He said draw one more, so we gave that to Rusty Oakey. And Adam Briggs has a half off, as well as the 10% coupons. So Pete actually has 2. Chris has 2. So Chris Bradley has 20% off and a freebie. Kevin and Tony still have 10 off on anything they will choose. So if you win something and you decide to use any of those golden tickets or your discounts, tell me when you buy it so I can mark it on my notepad. So, all right. We ready to roll? There's Leo. Let me gather some stuff up here to see what's going on. All right. As always, we'll hold up a piece. We'll talk about that particular piece. We'll give you some dimensions on that particular piece. We may talk about that car a little bit. We'll point out any flaws or damage to that piece. As we're discussing it, if you've got some interest in that piece, you want to throw a bid out there, please do so that I know we've got interest in it and we're ready to go. Once we get done describing it, we will put it on a timer right here on my phone. I will keep an eye on this. We will go 2 minutes. I will tell you when 1 minute has passed. I will tell you when 1 minute and 30 seconds has passed. When I tell you the minute 30 is passed, it is time to be thinking about your maximum bid because everybody has a delay. Some people it's 5 seconds, some people it's 30 seconds, but everybody has a delay. So when I tell you a minute 30 is gone, we may be getting close to the end on the timer. At the end of 2 minutes, I will announce the winner based on what I see on my formats. YouTube and Facebook, I've got 2 screens up. So sometimes you guys see different things than I do. All I can go with is what I see in front of me. So anyway, what do we want to do? What do we want to start with? Man, we got a lot. Man, there's piles. Caps, plates, few toys, emblems. Got a few more badge bundles ready. Man, there's just a lot of great stuff here. We got a lot of cool plates tonight. Maybe we'll start with some plates. You want to start with some plates or something? Who knows? Let's go. Horn buttons, badges, emblems. Okay. Let's just start off with a pair of plates. What's cool about them is they are the same number. So you're actually going to get a pair right out of the gate. We're starting off with something pretty good tonight. So keep your eyes peeled. I'm going to be watching those bids, but it's going to be some good stuff to start with. As always on these first few items, I will try to read all the bids as I see them so you guys know what I'm seeing. As we're talking about this pair of number 15 plates, a pair of 15. They're both Rush County. One's 1962, one's 1968. Green and white, black and yellow. A set, match pair, excellent condition on these plates. These are standard 6x12 plates. These are original paint. The black has some splotching in it. I don't know what that is, but still has a nice shine. The back is still in great condition. Devin 15, Dean at 10. The 62 does have a little bit of scratching right here, but great original shine, original paint on the back. And we're going to keep them together. It is a pair. They are the same number, probably the same person because they came from the same county 60 years ago. Kevin at 17. Let's get these things on the timer. Alex, 25. Adam, 25. We're hung up at 25, but I don't think that's going to make much difference because I don't think we're anywhere near done on these. Waycamp, 30. One minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Waycamp at 30. Adam at 40. Mike from Texas is here. And there's the minute 30 mark. Minute 30 gone. Adam at 40. Waycamp at 45. Remember, you're getting the pair. Waycamp 45. We're taking away, coming down towards the end. Few seconds left. Waycamp at 45. And that does it. Waycamp at 45. All right. A lot of fun right out of the gate. Let's move to a horn button. Another one of these awesome horn buttons with all the depth in it. Harvest must have been good. That's right. All right. These horn buttons, you guys know I bought that big, huge collection of horn buttons, and it's been so much fun digging through them and selling some of them. But this is another great one. We've got a lot more. We've got 20 or 30 more badges and horn buttons and emblems coming out of this collection. But right now, we're going to sell one for a Studebaker. Check this badge out. This was a horn button. It does have a back where it twisted and locked in. But when you look at the gold and the depth in this, the circles around the S, how the different shades of gold show the depth, almost the 3D. It does have a slight curvature to the plastic. It does have a stainless ring around it. This thing is right at 3 inches in diameter on the Studebaker horn button. Good looking piece. Like I said, the back does have the twist part on it where it locks. The front looks nice and flat. If you didn't want to put this in a car, you could actually trim the back of this thing off and mount it anywhere, any way you want. It could be Golden Hawk. I'm not sure. I didn't look it up, but it's a good looking piece. So who's going to get us kicked off on the Studebaker horn button? Let's go ahead and roll with this one. And no bids on it yet. Where are we at on the Studebaker horn button? Maybe you don't really like Studebakers. Dean at 13 kicking us off. Dean must be our only Studebaker fan. I thought we had a few more than that. John, 15. Kevin, 18 as we come up on the 1 minute mark. Dean, 20. 1 minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Awesome. Buick Man got some picks on the Nobody's page. Minute 30's gone. 30 seconds left to go. Dean at 20. John at 22. Kevin, 24. Ticking away. Got a few seconds left. Kevin at 24. Pete, 31. And that did it. Pete slid that 31 in there with about 158. Not much time to react. Pete at 31. John came back with a 32. It took a while for it even to pop up. All right, let's do a cap real quick. We've got some cool caps tonight. This one, we've done something similar to this one before. I don't know if we've done this exact one. These were used for a few different years with different colors on them. You might want to get some sunglasses out, though, because this baby does still shine for the 1949-1950 era of Chevrolet, with the gold background around the bow tie. Some of these had red, some of them had gold. This one does have typical dings and dents, but it is super nice and shiny. It really looks great. Make a great wall hanger for sure. It is about 9.5 in diameter. Mark starting us off at 10 on the Chevy cap. And let's roll with it. Let's get it on the timer and get going. The next plate that's coming up is going to be a lot of fun too. We're on the timer. Mark at 10 is the only bid we've got. Alex 25, Dean 17, Kevin 14. But Alex at 25 as we hit the 1 minute mark. And there's the minute 30 mark. Minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left to go. Mark 26. Just about ready to wind this one down. Kevin 27. Pete 27. I had Kevin first. And that does it. Kevin Brown at 27. Alex had a 31 in there, but it was too late. Okay. Just polishing up this other piece. I'm excited about this next piece too. We're not going to do it right now, but we're going to get to it here in a second. Psych. Okay. Blues Champ had a 29 hanging in there too. That just popped up. That must have really been hung up in there. Let's catch a can. We did I had 3 of these cans. We sold one a while back, and I've got one more to sell as of right now, unless I ever come across some more. But you guys love this can. I think Pete got the last one. I'm not sure. I'm absolutely keeping the other one for me. Awesome, Kevin. Good to be looking forward to seeing you in September. On the Skelly Fortified. Oh, yeah, you're going to need sunglasses for this one, too. Kenny starting us off at 10. You heard Kenny's in at 10. Skelly Fortified Tagoline S3. Yeah, look at that baby. It does have some dings and dents. It's got a little bit of paint loss up here. It's kind of dented up a little bit over here. It does have a staining spot on the back side over here. But overall, man, look at that thing. It is a metal can. You see the actual steel seam right there. This was punched at the top. So this was used. But man, this is a great looking can, and this baby shines. So, Kenny at 10. Let's go ahead and get rolling on the Skelly Tagoline S3. Alec, 15. You bidding, Gray Kitty? You are? You want to bid? You're digging through the auction boxes. Meow. Meow. Alec at 15 is my high bidder. As we're coming up on the 1 minute mark. It could be a sniper deal, that's for sure. Big job. It's a good looking can. 1 minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Dennis at 22. And there's the minute 30 mark. Minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left to go. Dennis at 22. About ready to wrap this one up. Dennis at 22. There might be a sniper on this one. We're going to find out here shortly. Austin at 23 as it hit 200. I mean, barely. I mean, it was literally going to 200. Another half second, and it would have been 201. Whew. Talk about squeezing one out. Okay, we're going to do another plate. And this plate, I actually, when I bought these plates, I kind of forgot about this stuff. And I dug this one out. I was like, oh, we got to do this one. We got to sell this one. I hope you guys like it. I thought it was cool when I bought it. And I couldn't wait to, in fact, when I bought it, I was like, I can't wait to show this to you guys. So I've actually been back. Good idea, Mark. Great idea. I'm glad you're on top of things and keeping me on the game tonight. In fact, let's just give you both of them. But when I found this next plate, I bought it thinking specifically of you guys, and I almost thought about keeping it, but I was like, nah, I want one of you guys to have it because it's so awesome. And for some of us, it might be true. And as a matter of fact, after a few of these, it might be very true. On this plate from Illinois. And this is a metal plate. This is all stamped in it from 1980 or 81. Land of Lincoln, Illinois. Driver education. Yes. You have an excuse to drive poorly. Because you have a driver's education plate. So, I thought it was cool. You guys may not think it's as cool. I thought it was neat. This is all stamped in here. It was a bare metal plate. But even the driver's education is stamped in the metal. And then it was coated with the orange background with the blue lettering. Tractor Mike at 10. Tractor Mike actually probably does need this after 20 or 30 bouge lattes. But I thought it was different. It is a standard regular 6x12 plate. But what the heck? Let's see what happens. Tractor Mike starting us off at 10. And here we go on the timer. Alan at 20. Mark at 15. I've got Alan at 20. I think a lot of us know people that need this plate. Dean, 22. I thought it was cool. I thought it was funny. Adam at 20. I got Glenn at 25. Adam at 30. So I'm glad you guys think it's funny. I thought it was cool. Adam at 30 and everything's calmed down. That means it might be interesting after we announce the minute 30 point. Glenn at 32, just past the 1 minute mark, just under 1 minute to go. Glenn at 32. And there's the minute 30 mark. 30 seconds left to go. Glenn at 32. Let's see what happens. There was a lot of shooting going on earlier, so that's right, JP. Stay off the sidewalk if you don't like it. The bushes are rustling. We haven't heard that comment before, Mike, but you could be true. And we're getting down to the wire. Let's see what's going to happen. Glenn at 32. And that did it. Glenn at 32, and here they start coming. Big job, 35. Mark at 33. They all got hung up. Glenn got lucky. Adam at 35. So 3 more shots in there, and they all came in after the fact. What the heck? Let's do another cap. Big John want to put it on his truck and drive like a bozo. All right, let's do another cap. This is a cool one. I bought 2 of these. I'm keeping one, and I'm selling one to you guys. And it's a sweet one. I dig this one. It's kind of banged up, but it is really cool. It looks neat. It is a hubcap, not a grease cap. But it's a great looking piece for our Packard fans out there. Now, this one's kind of banged up. You can see it's scraped over here a little bit. Dented in there, dented over here a little bit. The paint is faded off. Obviously, the center would be red. The background around the letters would be black. This ridge is stamped in there. The back, this is a metal-based cap with a chrome cap over it. Alec at 15. It is about 8.5 inches across on the Packard. It is domed or dished. You can kind of see how tall it sticks up there. But a cool looking Packard motor car hubcap. Don't know for sure what it would have been on. I just knew it was cool. Figured you guys might like it. So, Alec at 15, and we kick this thing off on the timer. Alex, 35. It does kind of look like a UFO, yep. Randall's setting for windage. We're getting serious about this when he's got a set for windage. Don't want his shot to get blown off course. We've got Alex at 35. One minute down, 1 minute left to go. Wow, talk about crickets. Coming up on that minute 30 mark. And there it is. Minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left to go. Alex at 35. Kevin, 36. We're ticking away. We're coming down to the wire. Kevin at 36. We got a few seconds left. Alex at 42, just as it hit the 200. Ooh, Alex, it's a good thing you weren't another second later because it would have been too late. Nut Farm had a 44 in there. Alex barely snuck that in. He got it in, but it was like that tight. Whew. All right, how about something for our Chevy fans? This is a good-looking piece. It is an original. I mean, they make new ones, I'm sure. I think this is 1955, but I'm not sure. It's that era, 55, 56, something like that. Car front hood badge. Check this thing out. We've got some fading in the plastic, but the plastic isn't broke, but that's because this is original. It does have a slight V to it. The blue on the bow tie still looks really good. Back of it's still intact. Studs aren't broken off. Leo at 10. These are 13 3/4 across here. So the chrome on this thing is great. If you guys can't tell, I mean, amazing chrome. Some fading in the plastic, but not broke out. Leo at 10. And here we go on the timer. John at 15. GDP at 15. So we're hung up there, but I don't really think that 15 is anywhere near what it's going to take to own this. So GDP at 20. John, 25. Yeah, you could light it from behind, Leo. 1 minute gone, 1 minute left to go. $30 with Mary. Coming up on that minute 30 mark. Minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left to go. Mary at 30. Coming down to the end with a few seconds left to go. Mary at 30. Kenny at 31. Pete, 41. Kevin L at 35. Pete at 41 gets it done, though. Mary came back with a 48, but it was too late. All right, let's catch some more of these plates. I told you guys we had awesome plates tonight. We're going to squeeze a few more of these in here. They're cool. Like I said, different stuff, neat stuff. I'm excited about it. This next one, the Empire State. Yes, we're going clear up north to New York. Yes, 1960-61 New York plate. The Empire State. Now we see the 61 badge down here in the corner. If we look at the back, it is 60 on the back. They've had the 61 date plate added to it. Glenn said he's got a slow feed tonight, so that could be part of the problem. Tractor Mike at 13. Black, yellow letters. The updated plate was yellow with black letters. And it is 12 by 6, like some of the others. It seemed a little bit off, but it's about the same. Let's get this thing on the timer. Tractor Mike at 13. Alex, 22. Adam at 20, but I got Alex at 22. One minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Alex at 22. A minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left. Adam at 23. Tony, 28. Lee at 30. Lee at 40. Lee's covering himself, and that got it done. Lee at 40. So I don't know if there was something in there that I didn't see, but Lee wanted to make sure he had it covered. So Lee took a shot at 40. So it's going back home, believe it or not. Yes, Lee is from New York, so going back home. Lee Carr at 40. Haven't done any grease caps tonight. We better knock one of those out. We've done one similar to this in the past, but man, these are so great. This is early. I don't think it's quite as early as the olds. It can't be. It's got to be early teens on this one, on this Chevrolet, and I think it's brass. It had a coating on it that looks like it's worn off, but this thing looks like it might be actual brass. The Chevrolet is nice and crisp and clear on this cap. Hope you guys can make it out clearly. 1 3/8 across the hex. About 2 inches across the back. And it's about 1 3/4 inches tall. Leo at 10. Let's get this thing on the timer. Alex at 22. As we're ticking away, Alex at 22. I'm not sure why you've got a lag, Art, but that does happen sometimes. We do have to deal with that, unfortunately. 1 minute gone, 1 minute left to go. There's the minute 30 mark, minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left. Alex at 22. Just about ready to wrap it up. Is that all there's going to be? Alex at 22? And that does it. Alex at 22. Austin had a 23 that came in at 201. Nut Farm had a 25 in there. Alex wants some more plates. We've got some more plates. Don't worry. So we'll do a few more plates and another cap or two, and then we'll see where we're at. But we're having a good time tonight. That's what matters. Let's squeeze in another Kansas plate. So, yeah, so even Alex saw it. Yeah, and that's the problem. That's why when I give you that minute 30, some of those times we got to take that shot, and you are 100% right, Mark. I'm glad I got you here keeping me on track tonight. In fact, you probably need both of them by now. I've been lacking here. This is a good-looking plate considering it's 74 years old and an original paint. In 1950, Kansas basically went with raw aluminum and green letters and numbers. The Wheat State, Kansas, 1950. Perfect, Mark. I'm glad you're staying on top of me. But this plate does have a little bit of paint loss, a few scuffs in it. But overall, considering its age, still in great shape. It's flat. It's not beat up. Good-looking piece. Let's go ahead and get this thing rolling and on the timer on the 1950 Kansas plate. Kenny 10, Dean 11, Waycamp 15. Kenny 18. As we come up on that 1 minute mark. 1 minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Greenwood County. I don't even know where Greenwood County is at. Mary at 20. Minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left to go. Coming out of the wire, ticking away. Mary at 20. And that does it. Mary at 20. All right, let's catch a cap, maybe some emblems, a couple more plates, and then we'll see where we're at. See what you guys think, what else we want to do tonight. This next cap, super cool. It's got a little bit of damage to it, but a very unique cap. There's Ryan, our good buddy Ryan Fairchild from Dry Lake Brewing, hanging out with us tonight. Ryan jumped on Facebook. Oh, and Ryan, you need to get into this group too. We've been talking about that earlier. Be sure to jump onto that group as well. Answer the questions, they'll get you in. 1939 Ford V8 cap. Check this baby out. This is a big cap. This was for the big widespread bolt pattern wheel that Ford used in the late 30s. It is big and dished, but these look great. This does have some damage over here on the side. Mark at 15. This cap is 12 and a half, so it's a little bit bigger than some of the other ones that we've done. Let's see. Rusty Okie at 40. Greg, expect another yard walk. I need to do one, Greg. We talked about that. I was going to try to do one last Thursday on 4th of July. We ended up moving a bunch of cars around at Dad's house, and I didn't get there. But yes, Greg, we do have a yard walk coming. I need to do one here within the next few weeks, hopefully. So we'll try to get one scheduled. But yes, Greg, we got to get one in. Rusty Okie at 40. Let's get this thing on the timer. This ribbing is all stamped into the stainless. The V8 is stamped in it. You can see the traces of the blue paint. Alex, 45. I'm trying, Alex. I'm not killing you. I'm just killing your checkbook. So the V8 was originally painted blue. We can see the traces of that in there. Some dings and dents in this cap. This was painted. Rusty Okie, 75. So you could actually leave it the way it is. You could repaint this edge to match whatever your decor or wherever you're putting it. So a lot of cool things can be done with this. Rusty Okie at 75. That may have been a knockout punch. Don't know yet, but I do know one thing. That in 1 minute we will know the answer, because there's the 1 minute mark. 1 minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Rusty Okie at 75. Possibly taking a knockout punch on this piece. Long range shots be firing. Yep. Mic drop. That could be it. Minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left to go. Oh, where'd that come from? That's true. That's not the big gun. That's more like the cannon. Few seconds left. We'll let her go ahead and let it roll out. There might be a sniper in there. We don't know. Nope, that did it. Rusty Okie at 75. They are a cool cap, though. There's no doubt about it. I mean, that thing is awesome. It's a great looking piece. All right, let's catch some more of these license plates I've been telling you about. Like I said, we're mixing stuff up. We're doing all kinds of cool stuff from different areas of the country, and that's what we've got coming up next. From 1956. However, we're not going to go east this time. We're going to go all the way out west to California. 1956 California. The 56 is actually stamped in it. This did have stickers up to 1962. So, this is literally the late 50s, early 60s era of cruising in California. Mark at 15. Hot rods, the Beach Boys, all that stuff. This is what this plate exemplifies. Dean at 18. Leo 17. This is bent up a little bit. It is not perfectly flat. It does need a little bit of straightening. It does have a tear down here on the bottom. The back does still have most of its original paint. Tractor Mike at 19. Everything is embossed except these year stickers. John, 25. All the rest of this, including the 56, is embossed and stamped into the plate. Alex at 25. On the 1956 California plate, let's get this thing on the timer and roll. Ren and Stimpy. I remember Ren and Stimpy. The plate on Milner's car was cardboard. I did not know that. I was not aware that that was a cardboard plate. John at 25 and Alex at 25. I had John first, but I don't know if that's going to hold or not. We got 1 minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Alex, 28 as we hit the minute 30 mark. Mark, 27. I got Alex at 28 already. Kevin at 30. Coming down to the wire, I've got Kevin at 30, just about ready to wrap this one up. Big Job, 39, and that does it. Big Job got that in about 158, but he got her done. Big Job at 39. How about we haven't done any badge bundles in a while. Who wants to do a badge bundle? Got a few things laying here. I've been needing to start working some of these in. And so let's squeeze in a badge bundle, maybe another plate. I got a couple other badges laying here, and then we'll see where we're at with things. How about some early Ford stuff? Mid-50s Ford V8. This is chrome-plated pop metal, stud mount. It is flat. I can give you a Hudson badge. How about that? Nice looking piece, bright chrome. Going along with this one, and this is a great piece. I love these things. The Ford Thunderbird fender badge. Check these thing out. This actually is two pieces. This does mount in here. It drops down through it. This does have a stud broken back here. A few pits in it, but overall not bad. The Thunderbird badge is a little crazed on that side, but still looks pretty darn good on the front. This is overall length. Leo 11, Rusty Okie at 30. This is about 8 inches long. Mary at 40. And the circle is about 1.5 inches on the Thunderbird emblem. The V8, the mid-50s Y-block V8 badge is about 2 7/8 by about 2 1/4. So Ford badge bundle. We've got Mary at 40. You're going to get both of these cool little pieces. Nice chrome. No, this will be it. We'll do a license plate, maybe another badge, but nothing else specifically Ford tonight, I don't think. Unless you guys keep beating on me to do that many more auctions. But let's go ahead and get this on the timer. And Rusty Okie at 50. Mary, 55. This was mid-50s, 4, 5, 6 Ford. This was like 59, 60 Thunderbird. 1 minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Mary at 55. Minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left to go. Mary at 55. Coming out of the wire, a few seconds left. Mary at 55. And that does it. Mary at 55. All right. This next plate, I almost changed my mind, but I already had it written down. I didn't realize how cool this was until I literally was writing it on my notepad. And it's crazy old and it's crazy cool. We're going to go back 96 years to 1928 to the state of Ohio. Leo at 10. What I didn't realize how cool this was till I was writing the numbers down. Because I've had a few plates get mixed up over the last several months, so I have to write the numbers down. GDP at 15. This 1928 Ohio plate has its own consecutive numbers on it. Dean at 25. Be safe with that, Mike. Hurricane prep does not sound like a lot of fun. But yeah, that's the crazy part about it. This 1928 plate has two groups of numbers, and they're consecutive. Dean at 25, so I suppose we ought to at least take a look at it. Ohio, 1928, 898 and 899. Consecutive numbers on the same plate. Yep, sounds good, Rusty Okie. Glad you're here tonight. Appreciate your help. It's got a little tear up here. GDP at 30. Little tear up here. It's been up a little bit, but it's not bad. Dean, 35. I believe it was blue. Tractor Mike at 40. If we look close, it looks like this was a blue with white letters. It is original paint. There is some paint loss on some of the white, but overall, considering it's 96 years old, it's from the Rust Belt. It has consecutive numbers. I just think it's a super cool plate. So, Like I said, tear here is the only damage and one extra hole over here. But overall, this thing is pretty cool. So Leo's reloading and everything. All right, let's go ahead and roll. We've got Waycamp at 41, Tractor Mike at 42, and here we go. We are live and on the timer. Shouldn't have started the timer. All the bidding quit when I started the timer. Well, everybody knew they could wait till a minute 30 now. Tractor Mike at 42. One minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Devin at 50. Dirty cocked both barrels. Adam at 50. I had Devin first at 50 as we hit the minute 30 seconds left to go. Devin at 50. I had Devin first instead of Adam. We've got a little bit of time left, though, so let's see what happens. Adam, 60. Just about ready to wind this one down. And that does it. Adam at 60. Cool plate. I just think that was so neat. Adam at 60. Leo got an ad. Okay, we'll see what happens. We'll catch one more piece, then we'll see what you guys want to do. Let's catch another emblem. We need to squeeze a few more emblems in here. This one, these are great. I've got a few like this, so I'm going to go ahead and sell this one. This is enamel, but it is from the 60s. Great looking piece. I know you guys will dig it as well. I believe this was a front hood badge because it is V'd, but she's a beauty on this Cadillac. This is all enameled in here. This is a pop metal emblem. You see it's kind of V'd. Mark wants a real badge. There we go. So, all this color in here, it looks really good. This thing is not beat up. It's not chipped up. It's not missing big chunks out of the color. The chrome looks good on it. It is stud mount and slightly V'd to go on a hood, but I'm thinking this is mid to late 60s. Devin's got to jump off. Glad you were here. Mary at 20. Yep, it's a good looking piece, Jack. Let's get this thing on the timer. Mary at 20. The rig's rocking him to sleep. Yeah, we need to talk about that one of these days, Devin. Just so you guys know, we may try to catch it next week or the week after. Devin has a very, very interesting job. He actually works on an offshore rig. So, super interesting after talking to that dude, learning a little bit about what he does. We need to talk to him a little bit more here one of these days about working on an offshore drilling rig. Yeah, no kidding. The ducks. You missed the ducks and the caddy emblems. This one still has the ducks. Mary at 20. Jeff's got to jump off. Glad you were here. 1 minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Mary at 20. That must be it. Mary must be our only Cadillac fan on here. Minute 30 gone. 30 seconds left. Just about ready to wrap it up. Mary at 20 must be the only Cadillac fan on tonight. And that's it. We'll mark that one to Mary as well to go with her other badges. Mary's on a badge roll tonight. All right. What do you guys think? What do we want to do? We want to do one or two more pieces. We want to check out a couple pages in the magazine. Awesome. Great idea, Devin. So what do you guys want to do? You tell me. We can catch a little bit of the Automobile Trade Journal. Austin just says more. We got plenty of stuff stacked in here if you guys want to squeeze one or two more pieces in. But that's up to you. Or we can just call it for the night too. So Leo says more. Let's get a few more votes out there. Because we can catch a couple pages in here as well. Dirty says more. Let's see. What do we want to do here? I got a couple more plates. That's right, Glenn. I got that box over there. Let's grab that other concrete truck. Good call, Glenn. As you guys know, last time I went and saw Glenn, he gave me a box of toys to sell. We are selling these. The money is going into the Pioneer Village 2025 file. This is to ensure that we are able to maintain our Nobody's Show sponsorship of the vehicles we've chosen on at Pioneer Village, and maybe even add a few more to our list. So, and Glenn is matching everything that he says. Not only did he donate the toys, he's matching the bid to go into the Pioneer Village Fund to keep this thing going. So, let's see. John's got to jump off. Glad you were here. All right. Let's check out this other concrete truck. Once again, donated by Glenn, and this will go into the Pioneer Village Fund. This one is a Tonka concrete truck. 70s era. Does tip to dump. The crank, it does have a crank, but it's not cranking. It's just not quite catching the drum. It is, I don't know if you guys can see, it just isn't meshing. I don't know if it's out of adjustment a little bit or what. But it does still have both Tonka stickers on the doors. All four original Tonka wheels. Jack's digging them. This is definitely the 70s era big slope front Tonka truck. The glass is not, or plastic's not broke out of the glass. It does still have the original grill in it. Tonka across the back. And the bottom side of this thing intact and original and really not in too bad a shape. So a good looking piece. Dirty in there at 55 right out of the gate. All right. It is cool. It's a good truck. It is. About 8 inches long. Tip to tip's about 8 inches. Does have an interior in it, and actually, I don't know if you guys can see it, says Tonka across the dash as well. So yeah, this was played with, but when you look at the bottom of it, it's still in pretty decent shape. Dirty's in there with a knockout punch at 55, so we'll see what happens here. We're coming up on the 1 minute mark. Hudson badge. Yeah, 1 minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Big Job says hammer it. Well, but to be fair, we got to let it run out. So that's it, Jack. Pioneer Village in Minden, Nebraska. That's what this is for. We have 4 cars up there sponsored by the Nobodies of Nobody show, as well as a couple of individuals that sponsored cars on their own. We are raising funds to ensure that sponsorship continues next year and possibly even adds a few more cars to the one sponsored by the Nobodies of Nobody show. Minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left to go. And not like I said, not only did Glenn donate these, he's matching the high bid to go into that fund. Dirty at 55. Just about ready to wrap this one up. Looks like Dirty took the knockout punch right out of the gate. And that does it. Dirty at 55. Dirty likes his toys, though, so. Yep, if you've never been there, Jack, you've got to be there. Check out the playlist. We've got a full playlist on the channel from there as well. I do a lot of content with them, so you'll definitely want to check it out. So that's awesome. Dirty at 55. Adding to that Pioneer Village Fund for 2025 to make sure that we continue our sponsorships of Pioneer Village, the cars they have there, and the amazing collection that they have. So thanks, Dirty. Thanks, Glenn, for the donations. And I guess we'll go ahead and move on tonight real quickly. And we'll kind of touch on the Automobile Trade Journal, just a couple of pages here real quick. And then we'll let you guys go for the evening. I know a lot of you guys need to get going. Like I said, we're playing with this time frame thing, trying to figure out what's going to work. We're running a little bit longer than I would like, but we're going to see what happens. Maybe 7:30 is our number. I don't know. We're going to figure it out, though. But real quick, let's catch a couple of things out of the Automobile Trade Journal from October 1934. Once again, this magazine donated by Glenn, helping us out once again. What we're going to look at tonight, the Dragnet, a couple of things going on in the industry. And you're exactly right, Big Job. That's 110 right there, thanks to Glenn and Dirty. So that right there, and that's another awesome thing about you guys, is that takes care of one of the re-sponsorships right there in and of itself. Plus all the rest of you that have donated should make it very easy to maintain the 4 that we've got and hopefully add some more. And they have signs on the vehicles sponsored by the Nobodies of Nobody show if you get up there. So pretty cool deal. All right. Rod Shop's going to call it a night. We're just going to check out a couple of interesting things happening in 1934 with the Dragnet, and then we're going to wrap things up. A couple of things going on. Skippy Airflow. Chryslers and DeSotos, replicas of the big cars, took to the racetrack recently as Toledo, Ohio, sponsored by Shank, Cobley, DeSoto dealers, Riley Wearley, Chrysler dealers, and American National Company. Makers of Skippy Racers, all of Toledo. 12, as shown below, of the fastest juvenile dirt track drivers were chosen by elimination races held in city playgrounds during the preceding week. 10,000 people witnessed this merchandising effort, saw a miniature Chrysler come home first. So this is super cool. These are kids racing airflow pedal cars. Check this out, guys. Right down here at the bottom. Hopefully you guys can make that out. I've got one of the airflow pedal car bodies, but I do not have a good one. But man, check this picture out. All these kids in the little pedal car airflow racers. Perfect, Austin. Appreciate that. Champion Spark Plug Company of Toledo, Ohio has issued a slide rule card chart, which gives on one side Champion Spark Plug recommendations for all cars under normal conditions, and on the reverse side, recommendations for cold plugs for hot engines and hot plugs for cold engines. To use the Champion card, the serviceman looks at the side that gives recommendations for normal driving, sliding the rule to the section where the particular car is listed. If conditions are normal, he installs the spark plugs required. But if driving requires demand hot plugs or cold plugs, then he reverses his slide rule card chart, and the normal use chart becomes a service type selector, and the slide rule indicator tells him what type of plug is recommended by Champion engineers. So there again, the technology of the day. You got all of your Champion spark plug information right here on this sliding chart. A superhighway was opened in New York City last month when the West Side Elevated Express Viaduct was officially opened. It extends from 38th to 48th Streets and facilitates a traffic speed up in that district. Photo shows cars bearing New York City officials as they motored over the highway for the first time. And we've got that picture right there. Guarding against false teeth. Above is shown one of the inspectors in the Chevrolet plant at Flint who examined with experienced eyes the teeth on flywheel starting gears. It is interesting to know that something like 400 gears bearing 52,800 teeth appear in this photo. So I don't know how you get that job. I don't know if I would want that job, but this dude is staring at 400 ring gears and inspecting the teeth on them. Does not sound like a ton of fun to me, but a little theater capable of seating 12 persons has been installed in the showrooms of the Pelton Motor Company, Dodge and Plymouth dealers in Los Angeles. When a prospective customer enters the showroom, the salesman requests him to look over the different models on the floor. In order to determine which one is of the greatest interest to him, after the customer has signified his preference, the salesman takes him to the little theater where a talkie film, they're again literally calling them talkie films, running for a little more than 20 minutes is shown, combining entertainment with salesmanship. The novelty of the idea is bringing a great many people to the showroom, and a large outside sign calling attention to a free educational and thrilling feature. Seeing a Dodge drive over a 150-foot cliff attracts many passerby, especially in the evening. The close cooperation between the little theater and the other departments of the company is maintained. For example, when a patron comes to the service department to have some minor work done, which requires but a short time, he is invited to attend a showing of the picture while waiting for his car to be fixed. The results of this innovation have been so gratifying that Pelton Motors plans to continue it indefinitely And in order to keep up the interest, the story of the film will be changed every 3 or 4 weeks. So, yeah, they were calling them talkies in 34. And it actually has a picture of that as well. You see these people sitting in this small theater watching the show being projected onto the screen. Awesome, Dirty. Appreciate it. And yes, where was it? Yes, right here it called them talkies. We're a talkie film. Too many badges, Mark. Well, I'm glad you kept me on my toes as far as throwing them up there. And that wraps up what was going on in the Dragnet section in October 1934 in the Automobile Trade Journal. The next section has a ton of different segments we want to get into as well, so we'll probably go ahead and wrap here tonight. Go ahead and shut this one down. We've still got Kevin's card here for a bookmark like we use in all these. Put that back in its place. Put this back up till later. So that kind of wraps us up for the evening. We ran a little later than I thought. We'll see how this works. Maybe, like I said, maybe 7:30 is our sweet spot. I don't know. We're going to kind of check this out and kind of play with it and see how it works. For the most part, most everybody seems pretty much okay with the 8 o'clock time, but we'll see how things go from here. Be sure to check out the new page that Andy and Zach put together for us. Some of you guys are already on there. Some of you guys have already made comments you're posting. I will try to keep an eye on that page. I'm not going to promise you that I'll be doing a lot of commenting on it or anything like that. But it will be cool to see some of the stuff you guys are working on. Next week, we've got a ton of videos coming up. We've got the video on the stolen Chevelle from Rocky Mountain Race Week. I've got tons of videos we shot at Wix's. I've got tons of new inventory videos. I've got Auburn Court Duesenberg videos. I've got videos from my buddy Salvage Yard that we shoot at sometimes. I think I've got over 20 videos already in the can. So it's great when the beer's cold. So a lot of stuff coming up content-wise. Like I said, super excited that we broke that 20,000 number and super appreciative of you guys being part of this and making it what it is, inviting your friends, sharing it around, and having them come over and join us and making this bigger and better. And, we just keep ticking along. That's all you can do is keep doing your thing, keep ticking along. We finally, crossing that 20,000 subscriber threshold was kind of cool to me. And I appreciate all you guys and your help to push me there. So with that, we'll go ahead and wind this one up. We will do Toy Tuesday live. We've got some more viewer box stuff to get into, so we will get into some of that Tuesday night. Like I just mentioned, there is a ton of new content. I do want to get the stolen Chevelle video up so you can see what actually happened to that car. And then, like I said, I'll have to sort through some stuff, figure out what we're going to publish later this week because we've got a ton of stuff to look at. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get ready to wind things down. I appreciate you guys being here and making this what it is. We'll see how things go with the time and the Johnny Carson comments. I appreciate that, guys. That really, I try to do a good job when I build these out, when I work these sheets up, because I do want to put out a quality product, and I hope you guys are happy with what I'm doing. So thanks for the kind comments and your support. We'll see some of you Tuesday night, and we'll definitely hope to see you all right back here next Sunday night for some more Sunday Night Live chat. We'll shoot for that 8 o'clock time slot again. We'll do this a couple times and see where we're at and see where it ends up at and see what we need to do. That wraps up 219, 220, episode number 220 coming next week. And just crazy to think about that. That's where we're at in this deal. But anyway, I'll let everybody go. Glad you were here tonight. Had a ton of fun with you guys. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see some of you Tuesday. And if not, we sure hope to see you right back here next Sunday night for some more Sunday Night Live chat. Thanks for watching, everybody.